got to be an old baby boomer like me. You've got to be an old baby boomer like me to know that one. But it's funny when you look back at some of those songs, we all thought they had a romantic connotation. Well, they do in a way, but we're talking about that wonderful experience in whom we live, move, and breathe. I can identify that with these songs these days. So I wonder how it was at the concert with Paul McCartney, how they interpreted some of the songs. I'm sure there's a lot of older people there that really enjoyed it. Well, she's here. Deb's from Sydney, and she's a licensed Unity teacher candidate. She's got a great story, and maybe we'll hear a little bit about it after when we finish. But Deb, a big welcome to Unity of Melbourne.
Thank you, everyone. It's beautiful to be here. And I love your warm, welcoming smiles. They're very encouraging. So if I'm a bit nervous, please bear with me. The title of today's talk came about through accessing those hidden messages. And you and I each have the wisdom of the ages, our hidden messages within us. And we can open to that awareness in truth that each of us has access to the wisdom of God in all circumstances at all times. So let us begin with a passage from the Bible, Elijah in 1 Kings 19:11. And he said, "Go forth and stand upon the mount before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains and broke in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind," very appropriate, Reverend Bill, "an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice." Elijah was a prophet in the Hebrew scriptures who was seeking guidance from God. Does that sound familiar to you? How often do we find ourselves in the midst of life's dramas seeking guidance from God? Like Elijah, we discover that the guidance bringing forth the hidden wisdom is always available from the still small voice. No matter what you experience in life, the wind, the fire, or the earthquake, God is everywhere present, and you can access that connection through the still small voice of Spirit, bringing forth our hidden messages. So hidden messages are a key. They are so important that when they're brought forth, our beliefs, our pathways, our journeys, our life, our communication can change. And I feel it's very important to know and understand and look at those hidden messages. Sometimes we find them in media, for example, movies and music, as we discussed. So a story that came to mind was that of the Titanic. On board the Titanic was a young man, Jeremiah. He was 18 years old, traveling to Boston to see his sister who was pregnant. We all know the story of the journey of the Titanic, but what wasn't often told was that his mum had given him a bottle of holy water, and just before the vessel was going down, he crafted out a message, wrapped it with one of his shoelaces, and casted it adrift. Now, 18 months later, it washed up on a shore, and a man walking his dog found it, realized the significance, and handed it to the police. Interestingly enough, it washed up only a couple of miles from his family home. Now, when we think of the vastness of the Atlantic Ocean, how divinely guided was that? So the metaphor of reaching out to something or someone, this touch point in personal transformation, just like his message would have been for his family. And they actually kept that message for 100 years and then handed it over to the museum. Sometimes I think of my mobile phone as a vessel for my messages, especially when I forget to turn turn it on, which I'm guilty of. I forget to plug it in. And then there's all these call waitings or messages, communication waiting to be received, but they're hidden from me in the present moment. So the Bible is a vessel of communication. It has hidden messages and wisdoms that are just being cast out into this ocean of human experience. And we turn to a passage at any time for guidance and wisdom and interpretation. Now, the senders of those messages cast them adrift in the hope of being heard and understood, that desire for connection, for their message to be heard. And if I look at Master Teacher Jesus and just stand for a moment where he stood, casting out messages, some heard, some challenged, and some still waiting to be heard at a touch point in time. Like today, I'm still reconnecting with those messages in many different ways. So messages speak on many different layers: divine messages, individual messages, and our community messages. And they all seek to connect with us at some point. Divine messages, we can look at them as a higher power at work, a one power, one presence, connecting with universal consciousness, something that transcends our current human perspective. And it's like that when I look at metaphysical teachings. When I started this journey, I didn't have this perspective at all. So these messages were hidden from me at that point. And the possibility of receiving guidance and inspiration and enlightenment from beyond my present moment of understanding. Now, they can arrive in all sorts of shapes and forms: meditation, silence, reflection, prayer, synchronicities, symbols, intuition, and dreams. And they're like beacons of hope. I know when I get a significant dream, I ring my sister and I'm like, I just can't make sense of this. And she'll give her interpretation. And together we'll try and understand and evolve what that message was trying to say. And they don't always arrive in the shape and form that we're expecting. I don't know about you, but sometimes if I'm driving down the highway and I get this guidance to turn left and I'm looking straight ahead and the road looks so gorgeous, I'm like, And then you go around the corner and you bumper to bumper traffic and you go, the next 3 hours, I should have listened. I should have turned left. So sometimes they just arrive when you're not expecting them. But no matter how they are and how they present, I really love them. And it takes a while to unfurl that message and actually come to its meaning. And sometimes the meanings build upon the meanings. Years ago, my sister printed me out a certificate from the University of the Universe. And I have a master's degree, thank you very much to my sister, in solving cosmic complications, because I love hidden messages so much that I look for the insight in them. And why do I do that? I had to reflect when I was writing this talk. And it's because I get the opportunity to realign any thoughts or beliefs that weren't serving my highest good. Now, you may not know, but I had a journey of mediumship, and I came from a path very different to unity in that sort of aspect. And why did I stop that? I was doing fairs and all those sorts of things, and I didn't need cards. I could just tune in and get addresses and locations. And then I started giving people homework. And they've gone, you're the first person I've gone to for a reading that's actually giving me homework, because I realized I wasn't actually assisting them. Yes, I could tune in from that higher consciousness, but how was I really helping them to evolve and learn? And that is the part why I love about unity, is that all of us can learn and evolve and seek our own wisdoms. Charles Fillmore said that the power of connecting with the divine within oneself that that divine guidance is available to everyone. And he believed in the importance of spiritual realization and understanding, that inspiration and guidance is directly from divine source, and all of us can receive it. He was quoted as saying the soul's message to man is one of power, freedom, and joy. So that got me thinking, how does that show up for us? How do we as individuals set about accessing our own messages in a bottle from the divine? Divine messages are seen as this direct revelation from a higher source, but they're direct revelations from our Christ presence, or as Reverend Rhonda would say, our indwelling Lord. They align and inspiration and guidance, and with our highest potential and purpose. And we're constantly receiving these messages, invitations to grow and evolve into our true selves. So let's just hear that again, that everyone are constantly evolving, that we are receiving these divine messages, that they're invitations for us to grow and evolve into our true selves. Eric Butterworth emphasized the importance of inner listening, recognizing that these divine messages are constantly being whispered within our hearts. And Myrtle, through prayer and meditation, that we open ourselves up to these divine messages of love, healing, and transformation. Also attuning to our inner voice, recognizing it as that conduit for divine messages that illuminate our path ahead. And when I turned to the Bible, Proverbs 3:5-6 jumped out. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. And when I looked at that metaphysically, for the same expression, I can say, trust in I am with all your heart. Lean not upon your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge the I am within, and I am will direct your path. So when we take a look at individual messages, they're expressions of our own unique inner journey, our personal desires for growth, healing, and self-realization. And they emphasize the importance of conscious communication with ourselves, nurturing our thoughts and beliefs to align with our indwelling Christ consciousness. So how do we align our thoughts and beliefs with our indwelling Christ consciousness? I didn't understand that at first when I first joined Unity, but now I know. And Charles Fillmore also says and encourages us with affirmations and positive declarations as powerful individual messages that shape our reality. And Eric Butterworth upon the power of self-reflection as individual messages are mirrored back to us in our life. How often have you put something out there or thought something and that message has been reflected back through someone else? Sometimes a little bit too quickly, I might add, for our liking, but they come bouncing back. And so Myrtle also teaches that transformative nature of self-love and acceptance, recognizing that our individual messages of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are rooted in our relationship with ourselves. And when we take this on another level, a deeper level, again, we look at how they appear in the world, how they appear in their collective consciousness, how they build unity and collective purpose, and how they empower community sentiment through shared visions, intentions, prayers for collective transformation. A supportive community like ours amplifies our own individual messages. And all our great metaphysical teachers, they all teach and encourage the symbolization of that interconnection and shared spiritual journey within a community. My sister and I went to the New Zealand workshop earlier this year, and what we both came away was how beautiful it was to connect with like-minded people that share that spiritual journey. And I'm actually headed off to the retreat in New Zealand that's coming up in a couple of weeks. And I'm really looking forward to that aspect, like it is when you connect with each other in person in your Unity Center, of that shared awakening, that shared connection with each other. And Charles promoted the importance of unity and collaboration within spiritual communities, recognizing that the community sentiment amplifies the collective spiritual awakening. And we don't have to look any further than Myrtle and Charles for founding the Unity movement. Like, how profound is that? So Myrtle also promoted the transformative power of group prayer, spiritual gatherings, where community sentiments are shared and uplifted, and Unity does have its annual prayer day. Here today on Zoom and in person, wherever you are, we recognize that oneness with each other, and in other greater communities in which we participate, we take our teachings and align our actions and intent with that divine wisdom and purpose out to schools, workplaces, community events, anywhere that we participate. We cast out our messages into that metaphorical sea of life, yearning to discover and learn more of ourselves. These messages have power, the power to bridge gaps between hearts and minds. They transcend distance and time, whether it's a heartfelt poem, a piece of artwork, a Zoom meeting. All messages reveal the beauty and vulnerability of our own unique human experience. I have my sister's painting on the wall, and she lives interstate, and it's a heartfelt message. And every time I look at that painting, it transcends time and distance. So I encourage you to reach out this week and send someone a verse, a poem, artwork, handmade item, maybe to someone you haven't reached out to in a long time, with your own message in a bottle. Through sharing our communal stories, each message reinforces the interconnectedness of humanity and inspires our sense of belonging. Your message is heard. It's heard in the love of the gift and the gift of love. Just as Master Jesus and other teachers like our own Reverend Bill, Reverend Phyllis, Reverend Grace, Reverend Rhonda, and other Unity teachers share messages in the gift of love. So let us cast our own messages into this sea of existence, knowing that in divine order, one day they will be found for those who seek a shared human experience, just as Jesus and Unity cast out so many messages and teachings. And as you take your attention from the outer to the inner, trust that that wisdom you desire is available to you right now, right where you are. God is. And the wisdom of the ages is yours in this very moment. So I hope in the future coming week, we contemplate that and look to a sea in this global community where our messages and our intent can land in that shared collective vision. So thank you for that. And I'd like for us to journey along the same or similar lines as the message in a meditation. So if you'd like to shrug your shoulders, relax, get yourself comfy, I invite you individually and collectively together in a meditation. So relax, breathe in, allow your focus to shift within, relaxing into our breath, breathing in. Let our lungs be filled with revitalizing air, exhaling slowly any tensions, any stress you may be holding. As you relax into this moment, imagine standing on a pristine beach. Look around, white sands, seagulls. Notice the water lapping, the color of the sky, the water glistening. Gently feeling the rhythm of the ocean, hearing the smooth melody of the waves, feeling the sun's rays of warmth, peace, serenity, the soft sand under your feet is inviting you to go deeper and deeper into relaxation. In the distance are shimmering bottles washed up on shore. The glass glistens as you move over, looking with curiosity. Notice its intricate patterns on the bottle. Its colors. Holding the bottle in your hands, you sense a powerful energy contained within, vibrating with the divine message that it carries, a divine communication especially crafted just for you. Opening the bottle, unfurl the message and take a moment to notice the writing. The symbols, the pattern. What is it made of? Learn all you can about your divine message of wisdom and guidance. Does it resonate anywhere in your body? How wonderful it is to receive divine communication. Let us give thanks and appreciation As you relax, sitting on the soft sand, shift your attention inward to your own inner self, your own inner landscape. How does it feel? Is it at peace? Become aware of the individual messages that reside within you, your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, your messages to self of hope, desire, all that shape your journey. See each thought and feeling as its own message in a bottle, and acknowledge them without judgment or expectation. Know that each message holds a unique and significant purpose for you. Taking a deep breath in, visualize each individual message transforming into a vibrant light, swirling within your being. Feel the energy of these messages coming alive, aligning with the divine presence within you, creating a harmonious symphony of intention and purpose, love and peace. And as you bask in the radiance of your inner wisdom and knowing, slowly extend your awareness to the surrounding environment. Sense the presence of a loving, supportive community gathered around you. These are fellow seekers, each with their own individual message, journeying alongside you. And in this moment of collective consciousness, collective bottles are waiting to be filled. Reach out and hold a collective bottle and offer up your own intentions and prayers to the global community, to the community message. Fill the bottle and allow it to float away into the sea of universal consciousness. All is in divine order and divine way, and will make its way to shore with your contribution, your unique voice, amplifying the collective power of manifestation and transformation. Now let us take a few moments to silently offer our own personal message, intentions and prayers for this unity gathering here today. Feeling the unity and support of all, allow the energy of shared intention to permeate your own being, the love, the peace, the harmony, the knowing that you are not alone on this sacred journey. Expressing gratitude for the messages that have graced this meditation, we bring back to the awareness the wisdom of the divine message, the power of the individual message, and the sense of community within us as we navigate our life experiences. May these messages continue to guide and inspire you, bring forth love, peace, and transformation to your life. And when you are ready, slowly bring your awareness back to the physical surroundings, back to where you are, back to the present.